Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. I can tell you are all former scouts because you didn't care if it was raining. You didn't care if the traffic was bad. You just said, I'm going. So appreciate that. What? Maybe you did. Yeah, it's gotta get slow. I'm Peggy Primo. I'm sort of the co-pilot in the week. This meeting will be recorded. Please mute your devices and you can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll do that next. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And thank you. We'll please sit and we'll have a moment of silence, contemplate things that are happening that are just beyond us. Thank you. There are reminders on your chair for our schedule, and I guess the hot news is we're taking August off. There's a coffee hour on. Coffee time.
July 30th.
July 30th, 4 o'clock. Inverness? Inverness.
Yes,
Just a drop-in thing. We're going to jump right into this program. I wanted to say right at the beginning that the September meeting will be with Mo Baird, Supervisor of Elections. So that's September 10th. So we're taking August off, but we're jumping back in kind of with the serious stuff. But she's a wonderful educator. I'm so pleased that we can do the Girl Scouts of Citrus County presentation today. The Scouts go way, way back, even before the League of Women Voters, but we had in common the investment in women's suffrage. And since then, the Girl Scouts have always been a place where girls have support and companionship and power, girl power. Am I on track? But they'll tell you all about it. We're very, very happy to have Heather Wolfertz, the troop leader for Troop 14114, and Jessica Wolfertz, her daughter, who's a rising junior in high school. I'll tell you a little bit about them. And Kathy Glasgow, who's, where are you, Kathy? Kathy is also in a Citrus Girl Scout administrator. Do I say that?
I work for the Girl Scouts of West Central Florida.
West Central
Citrus County is one of my areas.
Gotcha.
Fernando is my other one, but I work.
So Girl Scout chief, I guess. All right, tell you, Heather sent me information about herself. She's been in Citrus since age 5. She graduated from the Canto High School. She has a bachelor's degree from Eckert in Human Development and Systems Management, a master's from Concordia in Educational Leadership. She's been a Citrus County teacher almost 20 years and a Girl Scout volunteer almost 26 years. Heather is an e-learning teacher, and the e-learning component for the school district got a letter grade of A, I read in the paper this week. So, from the state. Yes. Heather herself earned the Silver and Gold Awards as a scout, and she'll explain why that's significant. Jessica is, as I said, a rising junior who plans to graduate in May. Who needs 4 years of placement? Now, this will be her 12th year in Girl Scouts. She's earned the Bronze and Silver Awards, currently working on her Gold Award. She is a cookie entrepreneurship top seller. She's expanded that skill into running her own business called Created Wild Crafts. which gives back 50% of the profits to children in need. Heather uses her invisible disabilities as her superpower. She has diagnoses of autism, ADHD, anxiety, and depression, but you can't tell. So please welcome Heather and Jessica to tell us all about Girl Scouts of Citrus County.
Thank you. I have to say, I love talking about Girl Scouts. So this is a very easy thing for me to talk about. And I may go a little too fast at times. So if you are struggling with keeping up, just kind of flag me down. I'm very passionate about it. And all right, fantastic. So first she talked about a little bit of our experience, and you've all seen our pictures. Let's see if this will work. All right, but that's us up in the corner while it's coming up, and
It was working before.
that's all right. So, that's me and my daughter. That was on our Disney cruise, actually, that we took last November. It was a Christmas cruise, paid 100% by all cookie money. Something the girls wanted to do, not something I would voluntarily do. Beaches and sand and salt water, not my thing.
It wasn't only for just us, it was also for. Suggestion, can you please speak into the microphone,
Yes.
because you gotta get real close to it.
All right, we'll try.
It wasn't only just for us Girl Scouts, we also did it for our parents, because they do a lot of work for us during cookie season and candy season. They help support us and help us get to where we need to go. So we wanted to make sure that not only us, but our parents got a chance to enjoy what we get to earn and what we get to enjoy.
And on the other part of that slide that we're still working on is nope, not touchscreen. All right.
Good try though.
You're used to that fancy stuff at E-School.
She did have it working, just for the record. But it is kind of a funny thing. Up at the top is my newest girls. I got convinced by my older girls to start over again. My goal was once they graduated, I was going to start over again with kindergartners and go up again. They talked me into doing it earlier. So now this past year, I had kindergartners and sophomores in high school. Great mix, right? And then at the end of the year, the picture there with the dolphin, I accidentally gained a few new girls that I'm super excited about. One, now I have kindergartners and first graders. But I also picked up a new middle schooler and a new senior in high school that has never been a Girl Scout before, but saw the value in the program even going into her senior year. That to me just speaks volumes about what you see in other girls for Girl Scouts. So as she continues to work on this presentation, I'm going to keep going and then we'll catch up with pretty visuals. Okay.
I'm going to get the Marines.
All right. Well, that should have been the screen right there. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So in Florida, we just did this big commission. Girl Scouts was a part of it on the state of the girl. And there was some really startling facts. And in Florida, 1 in 6 girls, do it this way. All right. 1 in 6 high school girls report experiencing sexual violence sometime in the last year. 46% of female K through 2 students do not perform on grade level in math. 1 in 8 female students miss at least one day of school because they do not feel safe. 2 times as many girls seriously consider attempting suicide compared to boys. 8% fewer female students declare a science or engineering major as they enter college, their STEM careers. 52% of high school girls experience symptoms of depression. 79% of girls spend more than 3 hours a day on screens compared to 71% of boys. And 1.5 times more high school girls vape nicotine compared to high school boys. These are startling facts. And since I'm so involved in Girl Scouts and I'm a teacher, I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I looked at Citrus County. There you go. So in Citrus County, 21% experiencing physical abuse in their household, 16% sexual abuse, 55% of girls experience physical bullying by peers, 81% of girls emotional or social bullying by peers, 27% of female students have skipped at least one day of school due to bullying, 66% of girls experience symptoms of depression, 46% drank alcohol, 42% nicotine. Now this is Citrus County. This is my home. This is my backyard. This is a problem. So this is where Girl Scouts is helping. And I can't say that we have a large number of girls right now. This year we had about 250. We dropped some girls. We plan to be at 250 again, but that's only 250 girls. That's less than 10% of the girls in Citrus County that are currently getting this positive experience. So what can Girl Scouts do? Provide that brighter future. 99% of girls feel safe in Girl Scouts. 89% believe their Girl Scout troop leader cares about them as a person. I can tell you, I frequently get confused as having multiple kids because when I refer to my Girl Scout troop, it's just my girls. If I post on Facebook, hey, I did this, it's me and my girls. And I'm pretty sure they think I have 12 children. I do not, for the record. All right. 70%, 75% have a positive self-identity. 90% say in Girl Scouts, I feel like I belong. 95% of Girl Scout alumni with 7+ years are happier in their life. They feel self-fulfilled as an adult. Many of you are coming up to me and saying, I was Girl Scout. Look where you are today. You're here. All right. 82% of Floridians believe Girl Scout empowers and uplifts girls. 75% of Floridians believe Girl Scouts take action to improve. So she talked about had we been around for a long time. 1912, Juliette Gordon Lowe brought the idea over from Girl Guides, originally based on kind of Boy Scouts and strongly based on the military. She came back to Savannah, Georgia, and on March 12, 1912, she created a program not just for the girls in her area, not just for Savannah, but not just Georgia, but for all the world. In 1913, the second troop was started in Tampa, Florida. So we have strong sounding roots. Now, you could see a lot of the development of the programs and the uniforms. You could see the very military-like atmosphere that it was there. And yes, think about that time period. They were involved in the war efforts. 1920 came along with women's suffrage. I will tell you, Girl Scouts of the USA officially did not take a position because at that time, that would have been political suicide, right? But I can tell you there was girls and Girl Scout leaders working the polls and out advertising and giving that empowerment for girls for our future. Currently, since 1912, we have nearly 2 million members, over 1.1 million girls. In the history, more than 50 million women in the United States have been a part of the Girl Scouts. I'm proud to say I was one of those. Go ahead. And still am, obviously. In Girl Scouts of West Central Florida, that's our council. It covers 8 counties. We have over 12,500 girls. We have 2,500 in free community troops. We're serving 8 counties. We have 30,000 plus have camp experiences at our 4 Girl Scout camps. And we were talking, she said one of her previous favorite things to do at camp was to muck the stalls. We do have a camp just right out in Wildwood, you know, not very far away, with 16 horses that our girls can enjoy as well. Now, here's where it comes in. exactly 70 years after Girl Scouts was started to the day I was born. Pretty important day, right? So March 12th, I was born. I was born a Girl Scout. Never knew it until later when I begged my mom. And at that time, our daisies had just started in the mid 80s. That was for kindergartners only. There was no troops. So I started as a brownie. And volunteers and leaders matter in this. We are pretty much volunteer led, right? Actually, you're going to find out that it's more girl led. My first troop leader was Miss Anna Mae Henry. She was 74 years old as my troop leader. She had never had a girl of her own. She had no grandchildren. She believed in the movement of Girl Scouts. That was my first troop leader. She was a scary woman. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, because Girl Scouts, I'm up here talking to you. Back then, if this was my mom, I'd be going. And she wouldn't let me do that. If I wanted something, she made me ask for it. If I wanted empowered things to do with the Girl Scouts, I had to be willing to do it. She taught my mom that she didn't have to be there to do everything. And this is strong in Girl Scouts. Parents, you're on the side. This is girl led. Let them do it. In Girl Scouts, the girls go camping pretty soon without their parents as a troop. Now in Cub Scouts, parents are with them until 5th grade, till they start camping without parents. She was going to summer camp on her own in kindergarten. My first camping experience with Miss Anna Mae Henry was at the old scout hut in Homosassa, and we were sleeping on cement floors, and she had a cot. Now, of course, we said, why do you get a cot and we have to sleep on the floor? And she informed me that when I hit retirement age, I can qualify to sleep on a cot. With my girls, if they sleep on the floor, I sleep on the floor. They sleep in a tent, I sleep in a tent. That's not everybody's philosophy. Certainly I go and there's leaders that come with the double-decker air mattress. But because Miss Anna Mae Henry instilled that to me when I was in 1st grade, that's the philosophy I use. Volunteers matter. You don't have to have a girl to be a volunteer. We have people that come in and just share their expertise. It's amazing. They are the real superheroes that are impacting the future of tomorrow. And 94% of the volunteers say that they've made new friends. 88% help us, and that's because it says it helps them stay active. 92% of Girl Scout volunteers help them learn new skills and share them with others. 65% of volunteers say being a part of the Girl Scouts has helped them professionally. I would not be a teacher today if it was Girl Scouts. I wouldn't be talking to you if it wasn't for Girl Scouts. I'm not even sure, honestly, that I would not have been in jail if it wasn't for Girl Scouts. I grew up in Citrus County. What was there to do here 35 years ago? Honestly. So, it definitely had a very positive experience.
So as a Girl Scout, we always have to go by a certain policy that we've lived by for many years. I believe it was Julie Gordon-Lowe who created this. Girl Scouts has 2 different things that we follow. We follow the Girl Scout Promise and the Girl Scout Law. I will start by reciting the Girl Scout Promise. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout Law. It is many ways that we've interpreted this, but we always say that it's best to help whenever we need help. Well, people need help. I cannot speak today. Sorry. But as it also says, we also follow the Girl Scout Law, which is a very important part of our Girl Scout community. Not only does it tell us to be a sister to every Girl Scout, but we have to follow them, and I'll recite it for you now. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authorities, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. Now, as it goes on, there are many different reasons that we have this. As a daisy, we all learn this, and we have our petals to show for it. On our daisy vest, we earn our petals based off every story, and every story has a flower that we follow. I will do my best to be honest and fair. We learn through a flower named Tulip. She helps us understand the world around us and how to be honest and fair. We learn this by doing different things, such as sharing toys and sharing activities around us, making sure every game is fair and making sure that everyone gets a chance to be a winner. Friendly and helpful, another way for us to explore the world. As long as we are friendly, we always know in Girl Scouts there'll be someone helpful around us that will always be by our side. Considerate and caring. It's a way that we always can help someone no matter what it is. If they're not nice to us, does not matter. We help them anyway, because that's what we do as a Girl Scout. Courageous and strong. You never should show fear to whoever you are with. You always must be powerful and encouraging. Never be sad, never be upset. Your job is to always help. Show more excitement than sadness. Responsibility for what I say and do. If I say something and I know it is wrong, you must say that you are wrong. Never, never lie. It is an honest thing. Sometimes we have to, but we really shouldn't. Respect myself and others. Not only should you respect your area, respect other people's area. For example, when I was at camp, people kept throwing trash on the floor and I always had to pick it up. I started to tell them that part of the Girl Scout law was respect myself and others. So if I respect my area, they should respect their area. So if I'm respecting their area, they should respect mine. Respect authority. Always follow whatever the authority says. So if, for example, Miss Heather tells us to do something, we must follow. We have no say unless it is a absolute necessary of, well, emergency, I should say. Use resources wisely. Never use something that we do not need or cannot replenish easily. For Girl Scouts, most people would think that we use paper plates and paper cups at a campsite. No, instead of that, we use plastic plates and plastic silverware so we can use them over and over again to make sure that the world stays clean and healthy. And the final thing, be a sister to every Girl Scout. As long as you have a Girl Scout by you or a friend or a sister, they count as your family. We are here to support and we are here to protect you.
And once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout.
GSUSA programs. There are different levels for everyone from kindergarten to adulthood. Starting with Daisies. It's kindergarten through first grade. Then we have Brownies from second to third, juniors from fourth to fifth, cadets from 6th to 8th, seniors from 9th to 10th, and ambassadors from 11th to 12th. And after ambassadors, we become adults or volunteers, as Ms. Heather has explained.
Girl Scouts is, I can't do it, guys. All right, building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. And I just want to go back to that, use resources wisely. That's another place that the community helps all the time. Oh, you're a Girl Scout leader? I have this. Would you like it for the Girl Scouts? And somehow I always go, I just got a huge bag of glitter. The girls love glitter. Me, not so much. But the craft supplies, the other things that come in, it's absolutely amazing. All of these Girl Scout core programs are done through the 3 keys to leadership: discovering, connecting, take action. We want the girls to learn. We want them to make connections. And then we want them to help others understand this as well with the take action. With the processes, girl led. My girls, my older girls, have just planned another wonderful trip for me to Orlando for relaxation and shopping. 2 things that I don't do well. Okay. I promise you that if I was leading this troop, we would not be going shopping or just relaxing. But it's what they wanted to do with their cookie money. So we're doing it just like the cruise. Now, what was interesting to me, though, is I put them on Zoom and said, all right, plan it out and tell me what we're doing. And I heard them say, well, if it's Girl Scouts, we always have to do something educational. Take my heart away. So on the first day, not to interrupt with their relaxation, of course, the first day, they're doing both the Titanic exhibition in Orlando, and then they're going to the Wonderwork Science Museum because they knew we wanted something educational, and that was not me at all. So this is girl-led. Everything we do, we ask them, how are we going to spend the money? What are we going to do while we're there? What type of experiences do we want? What type of badges do you want to earn this year? What's your interest? We also learn by doing. So it's hands-on. the research that you do in school and write the reports and, recite the textbook, that's great. That's not Girl Scouts, and it's not going to get you through life. We want those hands-on learning experiences and cooperative learning to work together. COVID put a huge challenge into the whole world with working together. I teach online, totally get it. All right. But if we can't work together, then the whole society is going to collapse. There's not a single job that you can have, even working online, that you could do alone. You have to be able to work together. This leads to our short-term and long-term goals that we've already talked about with some of those statistics as well. Okay. There are 5 long-lasting outcomes: a strong sense of self, positive values. They're challenge seeking. They're not going to back down. They're going to reach those goals. Community problem solving, looking around, identifying, seeing a need, fill a need. Favorite line from the Robots movie, see a need, fill a need. And building healthy relationships. We talked about all those statistics with bullying and vaping and alcohol. These healthy relationships that we build help in all of those areas. Even being able to identify what is bullying and what is not. Because if you look at it, some of the things that kids report as bullying is just they don't even know how to perceive the things that are happening around them. Or, maybe I was that spoiled little kid that I always got what I want at home, but the real world doesn't look like that. So when I don't get what I want, that's a bully. That's not bullying. Right? So even helping understand what is and what's not is definitely there. We have 4 main areas that a lot of our badge work and core curriculum works on. STEM. Remember all those non-female related STEM jobs? We hit hard on STEM, and I'll even say that we expand to STREAM: science, technology, reading, engineering, art, and mathematics, but with a strong emphasis on the STEM components. We have annual STEMapalooza events. We have opportunities with Polytechnic University. We have robotics and coding and programming, all of that built into the Girl Scout curriculum. Life skills, civic engagement, going to talk more about that in a moment. Healthy living, global citizenship, communication skills, entrepreneurship, which is also down there, taking care of yourself, first aid, sewing, cooking. All right. Some of those skills that have been around since the 1912s is still embedded. They're not gone, but not just arts and crafts. Okay. Outdoors, obviously, we want adventure and skill building, including camping experiences as it goes up. And I'll talk more about that in a moment.
The final key thing is entrepreneurship. We have a Girl Scout cookie program and candy program where it teaches girls how to be responsive with other people and actually talk and explain themselves at the same time as learn business skills such as counting back money and learning the price of an item. Over time, we learn about different things and different skills. Girl Scout cookies can vary depending on what kind of cookie it is, depending on what type we need, goal setting, decision-making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. For us, we use all these in different ways to help us understand the world and help us be good for jobs in the future. For me, I love selling cookies, and it's one of my favorite things. I've been top seller for a few years, but they did with the program. For us, now even selling cookies is not just cookies. It's an adventure of friendship, memories, laughter, and independence.
And this slide was accepted from hers. It was added yesterday, actually. You see cookies, this is what we see. Skills, experiences, perseverance. Yes, we're learning those 5 core skills. It provides all the experiences. I will tell you personally, my troop, the cookie money pays for everything. My girls don't pay membership after they start the first year because it's covered in cookie money. Every trip that we do, every activity, every encounter, every experience, it's all paid for. And perseverance, setting those goals, meeting their goals, and getting those long-term goals so that we see more doctors and nurses and unfortunately teachers. All right. It's always funny to me because me being a teacher and how many Girl Scouts end up going into education as well. As we use that, we talked about outdoor. We don't throw our daisies out into the back country and tell them to survive. Those little kindergartners and first graders certainly aren't ready, right? So we have outdoor progression, and this largely depends on the volunteers and what the girls want. I wish that my girls and my troop wanted to adventure out and go backwoods camping up in the mountains. She would, but some of my other girls are like, yeah, no. Remember the relaxation shopping and cruise? All right. But we worked our way up. So with daisies, we start with the little overnights, and then we start going to our camps, and we do encampments, and then we start going up and up and up. Yes, they're cooking on the fire. Yes, they're starting fires, but we're building all those skills up. The next slide talks about travel progression. Could I have taken my kindergartners to the Bahamas on a cruise? All right, that was one of my biggest challenges with starting with kindergartners again, was making it clear that we have to work up to things. So a lot of the littles do local field trips. And Citrus County, you guys should know, has so many little opportunities that people that live here don't even know that they exist, so they never have them. All right. Then they start moving up to day trips and overnights and shorter trips and then extended trips and then international trips. And yes, we have girls that travel international. My girl's next big trip is not, the relaxation shopping. I keep throwing it out there, but really their target is Washington, D.C. next summer for the Girl Scout National Conference and the 250th birthday of the United States. So that's where my older girls and I will be next July, is Washington, D.C. And they're already talking about, for their final year, what big opportunity they want to do. A lot of troops, that's when they go overseas and travel internationally, is for their big final trip. We've done Savannah. We talked about that being the birthplace. It's kind of a pilgrimage that many troops do sometime during their Girl Scouting experience as well. Why does Girl Scouts work? Now, this is going back to those statistics. Why does all this work? It's a long-term progression, giving that strong sense of self. It's the exploration of purpose, passion, and careers. There was things that my girls have been exposed to that they had no idea that they ever existed. One of my girls is probably going into neuroscience. She's at the Academy of Health Careers. She got that from STEMapalooza. There was one booth that we attended as a Girl Scout that she fell in love with the neuroscience station. And that's what she's been studying since then. Crazy, right? Healthy relationships, inspiring that challenge. Ours is a circle of friendships united by ideals. So all of these things come in to make that solid program, and we're sisters. I said once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout. Every girl that I meet, they tell me about a positive experience that they had at some point in their Girl Scout career. And we already talked about these statistics, but I wanted to put them out here again, because that's why I believe so passionate in it. Scouting rises within you, inspires you to put forth your best.
Badges of all levels allow girls to try new things, learn new skills, broaden their horizons, network, and share with others. To quote Julie Gordon-Lowe, a badge is a symbol that girls have done the things to stand up for often enough, thoroughly enough, and well enough to prepare and give service in it.
All right, now I'll stand here. So now, we talked about some of the badges that develop citizenship. The next slide, go ahead, has our democracy badges. Democracy badges are plain focused on government. It starts out at daisies is simply the 3 branches of federal government and learning about those 3 branches. And then as we go up through the levels, it starts increasing. Some of them, I believe it's starting at juniors, they start learning about local, state, and federal government, because our local government impacts us directly. Somebody's elected in November, it impacts us at the local right away, right? And then the state, that's our next direct impact. And then the federal, sometimes the federal things take a little longer, but understanding all of those processes and how they could be involved is the democracy badges. They also increase with intensity of what they're learning about and encourages trips for like state government and encourages them to go to Tallahassee and learn directly from those places. I'm most excited about our trip to Washington, DC, because next year our girls are going to see firsthand all these places in DC for that. It also encourages them to reach out to senators and House of Representatives for things that they see are local issues and try to make an impact, starting with one person. And it really helps them understand the power of one. The next badges that you guys might be interested in is our citizenship badges as well. Go ahead. And once again, they progress over the ages and they're not titled the same thing. They kind of align differently. It starts out with the good neighbor in Daisy's, just learning to be a good neighbor, a good citizen. What does that mean? Kind of talks about the rights, the responsibilities, and the what you should do to be a good person. It's not required, right? It's not required to be kind to your neighbor, but it's the right thing to do to be a good neighbor. And then as it goes up, we start learning about how to be active, how to seek the ballots. In the senior one, you'll notice that it says vote, vote, vote all over that badge. It's the second to the right one. It is very heavy in looking at the ballots. What is the voting process? What is the voting history? What type of voting machines can they do? How can you be a part of the voting process? Can you even volunteer at polls and getting into that? And then that last one, the ambassador one, is a deep dive with a lot of deep information and actually putting on take action projects for the community to encourage others to get out and vote, to be an active part of their community. What's ways that we could change the world just being good citizens and one step at a time, but encourages them to really take action. Then the next slide, we have other high awards that go into it, and she's going to talk about the highest awards. But there are community service bars starting at cadets, seniors, and ambassadors. So that's middle school and high school, where they get not only community service for Girl Scouts, there's also one for community service in the community. There's leadership torches for carrying leadership roles for a year. There are the junior aides, starting with our 4th and 5th graders, and then program aid and volunteer and training that are building our girls starting in 4th graders to help younger girls as they progress through. So starting with the junior aid. Down at the bottom are the bridges. They actually earn those as they move from each level, with finding out about the next level and sharing with those below them. And then you can see there's lots of other pins. The little diamonds in the middle are also My Promise, My Faith, which allows them to bring in their faith into the Girl Scouting organization as well. Now we move to the 3 high awards.
There are 3 high awards. We have the bronze, the silver, and the gold. As a junior, you can earn the bronze. As a cadet, you can earn the silver, and from senior to ambassador, you can earn the gold. For the bronze award, there are 3 requirements. It must take a leadership role, has a root cause, and must be sustainable. For the silver, there must be a leadership role, a root cause, sustainable, measurable, and national or global link. And for gold, the same thing, but in a more independent and keep going on role of a leadership, root cause, sustainable, measurable, or national or global link that can sustain for the rest of time. So it has to be there and can continue to keep going.
We've had some girls in the newspaper that maybe you've seen. The first one was Bailey Edwards a few years ago. She did the reflector lights for backpacks for middle school and high school students to keep them safe at the bus stops since they're out there in the dark. We have Ava Newton, almost called her mom's name, who did the little library for her silver award and continues to update that. The next one is Jessica.
For me, I did a little food box, which is a birthday in a box kit, where I put cake, party supplies, and a few other items in there so they can make their own cake and have a little celebration along with a little gift for their kid so that they can have a nice, enjoyable time, which most parents can normally not afford. And then finally,
And we moved to our newest one, Elizabeth Biore, who did basically a project to encourage girls to embrace the fact that they're women, to not be ashamed of their menstrual cycle, to be able to have the supplies that they need and understand what's happening. When we have the loss of role models, a lot of that conversation doesn't happen. So especially me being a middle school teacher, I could tell you the shock, the fear of that first time. So she made little kits to go along with her advocacy as well. And the other thing I want to point out, this right here, that is the Medal of Honor for the Life Saving Award. She was on a Girl Scout trip and had the unfortunately opportunity to jump in and save the life in the river of a young man that was drowning. So she was honored with that very prestigious Girl Scout award as well.
Anyone that knows us knows we are Girl Scout driven, empowered for girls, and passionate. Quoting Julie Gordon Lowe, my purpose to go on with my heart and soul, developing all my energies and Girl Scouts and heart and hand with them. We will make our lives and live of the future girls happy, healthy, and holy. That is all we have for today. Is there any questions?
What are you seeing in terms now that the Boy Scouts have opened their ranks to men and women? How is that affecting recruitment with the Girl Scouts?
That's an excellent question. And of the girls that I know that are involved in the Cub Scout levels, it is a matter of convenience. I've also seen some come over and say, Girl Scouts can do so much more. My daughter's coming over. For example, the camping I talked about in Cub Scouts, they have their parent tied to their side until 5th grade, till they're a week low. With Girl Scouts, they can go independently. There's others that they're making that choice because it's convenient. They go one spot, they got a boy and girl, drop them off for the hour and they're done, you know? So it has affected it, but a lot, I won't say most, a lot come back and say, we want these values instilled to our girls. Now, I will also say working cookie booths, this is a hot topic every year. Girl Scouts does not allow boys. We are a girl-led organization. We are not planning on adding boys. So that is a big misconception, especially now that they have changed their name to Scouts. A lot of people just assume Girl Scouts and Scouts kind of merged, and that is not. And I want to make that very, very clear. And there are many past Eagle Award earners that have come up and expressed a lot of hurt and disinterest, and they've actually asked, how can we be a part of Girl Scouts because you're keeping the original core values true. So I see, to me, that's a great compliment for what we're doing, but that is an excellent question, and I don't know what the future will bring. Unfortunately, there's a lot of parents that are getting lazier and lazier and want to, have a one-stop shop. In Citrus County, I don't have the statistics, but I believe it's about 40% now of our children are being raised by their grandparents. They've already gone through it once. They're older, they can't travel, they can't do this. So I think it's going to be a constant thing that we struggle with. Yes, Girl Scout core values are here. Yes, it's cheaper. Yes, we could do a lot with it. But if I have a girl and a boy, take them both here. So go ahead.
We do have quite a few girls and Girl Scouts that are also members of Scouts. They do both programs. So I can't answer why or what, but there are young ladies in Citrus County that belong to Scouts and to Girl Scouts. So it's fulfilling their need of whatever they're wanting from each program that's being offered. But as Heather said, Juliet Gordon Lowe, when she started Girl Scouts, she said this is something she wanted to do for girls. And if you think of the time, back then, girls in 1912 did not have a whole lot of outside activities to jump, belong to a group at all. So we just look at it as they are trying to stay in their lane and we stay in our lanes. We respect each other. And that's about it. That's just how it is. But the biggest misconception is everybody thinks that we're all one group now. And so that's a quest that we have to let people know that we're still girl-led. Men cannot join Girl Scouts until they are 18 years of age, and then they are background checked, and they are never allowed to be the only leader. They have to have a female role model as the co-leader or whatever, because we do have families that are in divorce situations and dad has sole custody, wants to do something with his daughter. So he does Girl Scouts with his daughter. But there is another woman there that is a parent, usually, doesn't have to be, of one of the girls in the troop, so that they have that balance. And men never, ever sleep in the same area as girls or women. They usually get shoved out in the middle of a field with their tent. Because our accommodations were usually full when we take the girls camping. So we tell them, pitch a tent, enjoy life, and take your sign to the bathroom and hang it on there when you need to use it, so that the girls know not to go in. Because we don't have too many men's restrooms.
I was really glad to see the slide of the girls that did the project with the menstrual products, because that was one of my questions. In the very beginning, you talked about all the reasons why girls don't go to school. How many girls actually don't go to school? Do you have any idea? Because they don't have enough menstrual products to go to school, so they're afraid to leave the house.
I don't know if we have statistics on that. However, I do know, because I'm a teacher, that all the clinics do have additional supplies. And some of the bathrooms have actually been decked out with like those free menstrual product vending machines. Our biggest challenge right now is our youth don't know how to take care of bathrooms, and they vandalize them and destroy them. So how can we make these products available discreetly and not get destroyed and thrown around and flushed down the toilet? And
For me, I've even seen a few schools that have like a sign in the girls' bathroom. If you are on your period and there's no supplies or you're cramping, go to the nurse and say this code word, and then they will take care of you. And it's discreet, so nobody has to know. The boys won't know what you're talking about.
so I'm not going to say that it doesn't deter them from going to school. Many of those students that don't have those supplies at home, that's also their only food. So they go to school so that they get their breakfast and lunch. And then they get their blessings from, that program for the weekends to help cover. So, now does bullying play into that? Absolutely. I mean, if there's a leak situation, but we need to teach, how do you handle those situations? What do you say? How do you cover it with other people? Because bullying can also come about on how you react. And that's one of the biggest conversations I have with my girls is, okay, somebody's mean to you, but now you have the next choice. If you retaliate in a mean way, you're just showing them how it is. It's that golden rule. You treat people the way you want to be treated, which is not necessarily how you're being treated. And I have that conversations with adults as well. I have to have that conversation with myself sometimes, and remind myself.
Another way that you can always help, if you ever see someone that has that issue, I normally always carry like a hoodie or a long sleeve shirt in my backpack so they can just cover it around their waist and you can help them get to the clinic, or they can go there themselves so they don't have to be embarrassed or shy. There's always another way that you can help someone out in that situation.
I have another question. Sex education, do you cover that at all with the girls?
So it is, but it's not. It's an area that is controversial no matter how you bring it up. And everything that comes out about any organization is going to twist it however they want it to be seen. So we talked about the healthy relationships. With that comes those conversations and how to handle those situations. So it's not directly, this is what it is, this is how you do it. It's not, this is who you should be with. It's encouraging positive relationships and healthy relationships. And how do you handle a situation when you're asked about drugs or alcohol? What else could be at that party? And the girls helped lead that. When you are talking to girls of that age, they're going to bring it up, and it provides that opportunity. But like I said, it's not defined. It's not, this is what it is. We don't get specific with it. That's an excellent question. It's not what I commonly think of either. It just
And
kind
then
of
you have to
happens.
splash all over your
Yeah,
slides. either.
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
If a young lady finds herself in the 11th grade and she wants to join the Scouts, does she have to do other stuff to do that, or she's just in that age group and?
Yep, they start at that age level and
Okay.
they become that. So like, let's say 11th grade, she would also be eligible to earn the gold award, the highest award. It would be a challenge with that time frame, but absolutely. That's why I started out. I was so excited. I have a girl that just joined my troop in May. She's a senior this year. She has graduated in May, but she wanted to be a part of Girl Scouts, and she's coming in as a senior in high school. So absolutely. They don't, it's not, you don't have to go through all the levels. I know anybody that in here that is familiar with Boy Scouts, my son is an Eagle Award. So I was Cub, master for a long time. With the Eagle Award, you have to go through all the levels. You have to progress through. So if you join later in high school, the chances of you getting an Eagle is not there. Right now, only about 1 in 6 girls actually gets their gold award, even with the time, including the girls that have been in, because it is a challenge. You saw it has to have global and long lasting effects, but they could join now and say, I have a plan. I want to do this. They could submit the paperwork through the GSUSA, get approval. They give them a coach that helps them out and is available to them the whole step of the way. And they has to be a minimum of 100 hours. I would argue I've never seen a gold award less than 200 hours logged. And I don't know about you guys, when you have to log hours, do you remember to log everything? But they can still get it. And then, of course, that leads to increased ranks if they do choose to go into the military. There's lots of scholarship opportunities. There's schools that will put you in priority and take you first for admissions when you have those high awards.
You keep referring to Gold Award. What was Gold Award before? What was the name?
The Golden Eaglet.
And what else? Because of the age of this group, I'm putting her on a test.
Yeah, hold on. No, it was the Golden Eaglet, and then it was first class. No. What was it? I see them.
Curve bar.
The curve bar.
Curve bar, and then it was first class, and then it was gold.
It's right here on this slide. Which I can't read.
No, but this way people know,
Yeah.
because we keep saying gold or gold,
Yes.
and it's the exact same, it was curve bar and first class.
Yep.
So first class came for girls that graduated in the early 70s.
There you go.
See, yeah.
I'm really marking my age now.
Some of us don't have day-to-day contact with young people, but we're very concerned about the mental health issues, the bullying. Is there anything we can do on your behalf, or ideas about speaking out or writing articles?
So you probably won't like my first response, but anybody want to be a Girl Scout leader? I'll talk to you, because that would be the most direct. We could get you girls. We can get out and get girls. We oftentimes have girls that we're like, we really don't have a place for you, but here, take another girl. I know you're already at 25. All right. And we like to keep our troops smaller. So that would be my first response. But be involved. So all of our schools have mentorship programs. They also have volunteers. Obviously, Girl Scouts has volunteers. You could get involved in any of those ways. The schools, those mentors are super valuable. I will tell you, if I was to team you up with a girl at Pace, for example, right now, Pace is the all-girls school. They would probably cuss you out the first couple weeks. In all reality, they would tell you that they don't need you, that they don't understand, and then something's going to happen and you're going to be there just to listen. Nothing more, no contact, no words. And they're going to realize I'm not alone in this world. I spent 1 year at Inverness Middle School. Very first day, girl was in my face, like trying to throw a punch at me, trying to walk out of my room. I've never had that. That was year 18 of teaching. Never had no idea that could even happen on the first day. Within a few weeks, that girl was talking to me and I was her teacher, just simply because of the way I reacted, the way I handled it. I'm not that person that says, oh, you did that, you're in trouble. I want to work with them. Let's get to the root cause. What types of solutions can we? And that girl actually is, based on one of my recommendations, she actually went to Pace. So she's actually a student at Pace now, a much better environment for her. But we need mentors. If you don't have the time to be a formal volunteer, don't have the time to be a formal mentor, just go out to the park and talk to people. I mean, anybody who lives in Inverness, I could tell you Inverness Middle and Citrus High, they all pour out and head to Liberty Park and they just sit there and get in trouble. Just being there. Krista River Middle School, when they get out, they all go to Taco Bell, McDonald's, Subway, just sit in there, be present, you know, those are easy ways that you can start making a difference. But if you are interested in being a volunteer for Girl Scouts, coming in, even just talking and working with the election badges, anything that we can get, I believe in this program. I am me because of this program, but we have to expand beyond just our program. And I'm only targeting girls. I guess the boys are kind of important too. Maybe we should be worried about them too. All right. So some of these other ideas would be helping all the youth of Citrus County, and they need help. Does that help?
Yes.
She wanted to address it quickly.
So along with the mental part of your statement, I actually did want to say that for me, based off my goal award, I'm actually doing a project that is based off mental disabilities and autism awareness. So I am actually trying to spread not only to the schools, but to several of the Girl Scout camps and more to spread mental awareness and autism awareness with disabilities that most people might not see, like invisible disabilities, like hearing disabilities, sensory disabilities, so that in the future, maybe that can help like understand, because a lot of people, the reason they're getting bullied is because they don't understand their body. They're doing things that are different, or they're just bullying people without even realizing it because they think it's the right way. Using this program, I really hope that I might be able to fix that and make the numbers go down a bit.
I just want to say that you are excellent spokeswomen for this program, and this program makes me very sad. Yes, yes. And the reason it makes me very sad is that I was not a Girl Scout, and now that I see what I missed.
It's not too late.
It's not like you can volunteer.
It's not too late. And honestly, I don't know this for sure, but my first troop leader, Miss Anna Mae, she was never a Girl Scout as a girl. I don't know at what point that she started as an adult, but she saw in Citrus County there was no opportunities for women, that women were being left behind, that she would go into businesses and it was all men, like even walked into McDonald's and it was all men. And she realized she needed to make a difference. Now, this was 35 years ago. And she decided Girl Scouts was the way. She believed in it. She did her research. That's why she was there. And she was never a Girl Scout girl. So it's not too late. But I'm sorry to make you sad.
Questions?
You're making me sad too, because I was a Girl Scout and I'm over here tearing up. And I think I read her biography in school. And I'm just thinking maybe the reason why I am who I am is a lot of good seeds were planted in my heart. So thank you. But I only did it for maybe 3 or 4 years. I didn't continue on, but I did find such pride in finishing a project and getting a badge and going to camp. Actually, my first menstrual period was at camp. I mean, it was at home and then I had to go to camp, but I wasn't going to miss camp, but it was a little awkward to experience that. But anyway,
That is awesome.
It's really been meaningful to me to listen to you.
I love stories like that. And that's one of my favorite things of being out with my girls selling cookies is when we're at the booth sales, hearing the people coming up. I was a Girl Scout. I was a Girl Scout. I was only a Girl Scout for 1 year, but, and all of those amazing stories. Now, from time to time, I also get the story, oh, but my troop only did arts and crafts, so I left. All right. And that's where volunteers matter. It does. All right. And I just took over as service unit manager. I was so excited. My first meeting was last month. And the first question I asked was, what's your why for being here? Why are you a volunteer? And I was expecting the passion that I have. What I got was my daughter wanted to be in Girl Scouts and there wasn't a leader. So here I am, which is great. And I'm glad they stepped up. But when you have women that understand what this is doing for them, most of you have been around and seen women don't have what they have today. You know that. And when we have that power and that passion being shared with our girls, it makes a much bigger impact. So that's where I'm hoping some of my passion can wipe off. So it's not just, oh, my daughter's here, I don't have a leader, so I have to step up. But in all reality, when she started Daisies, I think it was, I don't know. I think it was on one of the slides. Maybe it's just on the board. I said, I don't have time to be a leader. All right. That was my reaction. I knew what Girl Scouts was, and I said, I don't have time to be a leader. I can't do this. So she started with a different leader as well. About halfway through the year, the leader took off and spent all the money. And well, she did meet with me and said, I guess you'll be our leader now since you know the most, and gave me the debit card and said, you probably don't really need it though. It has 12 cents in it. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was within a month. I'm like, why wasn't I doing this from the beginning? And I realized, and this is why I put this quote on here. Volunteers do not necessarily have the time, they have the heart. And that was 13 years ago, 12 years, I don't know, however many years ago that I took over as leader. I had always been a volunteer. I even volunteered with the council. I did my internship in college with Girl Scouts. That's how passionate I've always been. But when it came time to be a leader, I don't have time for that. But I do have the heart. And now I joke all the time, Girl Scouts is my second full-time job. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a Girl Scout, and some of them know that I'm a teacher. That's kind of how it goes.
Any further questions?
Oh, this was just great. Okay.
So if you each would respond, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
All right. You guys might be mad at me. It's not from this council. It is from the ABC Bakers and Stuff Little Brownie. I like the gluten-free chocolate chip and caramel cookie.
Sounds great.
So previously it was the raw raisins, but she's now gluten-free. So, all right. Up until a few years ago, I had never eaten a whole box of Girl Scout cookies. So I've been selling them for 40 whatever years and never ate a box of cookies. And then this new cookie called the Adventurefuls came out.
Brownie filled with caramel, chocolate drizzle, pinch of sea salt.
And unfortunately, one of those, I open it up and I'm like, oh, I'll just eat one. Okay, I'll just eat two. Okay, I'll only eat the one row. Okay, I won't open another box. Now, they've been out, I think this was year 3, and I did buy my typical case and put it in the freezer, literally. And I actually looked this morning, I still have like 6 boxes left, so I'm doing really good. But it is the Adventureful. If you have ever had it, you know, our Thin Mints are our top sellers, Samoa's are number 2. The Adventurefuls were battling it out for against the peanut butters, tagalongs and do-si-dos, but they kind of dropped back this year. Our s'mores we discontinued in September. I believe it's September 9th. Everybody needs to be on the news, on social media, listening to the radio, because our new Girl Scout cookie for this year will be announced.
Well, thank you very, very much. This was.
Thank you for inviting us to share Girl Scouts with you. Strong girls, bright futures. We appreciate you.
These, something, our little kid.
Thank you.
So glad you could be here. I really want you to call your attention to the picture boards and, we really, oops, sorry. Really thank you again for being here. Oh, we have a picture.
For pictures.
Thank you.
And I did have my contact information up there, but I also signed in. I left my email and my phone number. If anybody has any other questions, wants to reach out, wants to help, wants to become a Girl Scout for the first time in their life, please reach out. We will help you out. We really appreciate you inviting us and allowing us to share our passion with
And
you.
I will put that in the newsletter, so everybody
Thank
gets
you.
that information.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate you.
It.
Would you mind being that with me? Because I'm on the right. So,
Sure. Can you read it?
no, it's just a dream.
All right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's a thing. Glad you was making it with me. Yes, okay. Yeah, stop. I would like to take a few minutes to hear from board members who have announcements. And that would be BJ Ezel. Vicky Iozia as well.
Somebody before me or no?
You can go now. Yeah, thank you. Shout it out.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
I have no idea of the time, so I just say morning or good. I'm Dr. BJ Ezel. I'm a retired healthcare worker, 50 years plus as a nurse, consulted throughout the United States and into Canada, helped a physician open the first private hospital in Saudi Arabia, and they tell me that it's still there. And unlike you dating yourself, I'm 75 and loving it. So, and I was a Girl Scout, but there was no Daisy, so I was a brownie and a brown, so it was like, yeah, mine. I want to point you to some information that's on your chairs. Even though I'm retired, I still have those own work that I do with the health department. And one of the things is getting the word out on what the health department is doing. These will be coming out electronically to email if you have left your email address. The very first thing I want to show you is that the health department has a new trifold information on what can Florida Health do for you. And as you read through this list, you may see some things that you were not aware of. But one thing that I want to point out is I was speaking to someone yesterday who is going to be having a baby delivering in December. And she did not know that the health department will follow anyone who is pregnant throughout their term. So if you come across people who don't have insurance or have little insurance, point them to the health department. The phone number for the health department is at the bottom of the flyer. If you go to the first full sheet, there's a session at the hospital, I almost said the hospital, oh my gosh. I've been there too many years. There are some sessions that the health department does free of charge. And if you belong to a group or you can get 8 to 10 people together, they will come to you with these presentations. And one of them is a matter of balance. Anybody been to the doctors lately and they said, have you fallen since the last time you were here? You're hearing it all the time. That's because we are falling. The thing to do is to learn how to not only prevent the falls, but how to tone your body. So if you do have a fall, it will be less injurious to you. So right now, there's a QR code that you can scan that'll get you to the information, or just call the health department and say that you're interested in A Matter of Balance series. It's usually 8 weeks in succession, 2 hours, and I hear they bring snacks. I hear they bring snacks. So you might want to check that out. We've been to all the senior citizens areas. We've done it at churches and in organizations where we came to their regular meeting. And instead of having their regular meeting, that was the session that was done. In addition to that, I am a certified person to teach this particular session. I am not, if you go to the next flyer, I retired last year, so I have not been certified in Tai Chi. So if you see me in a class, it wasn't that I'm doing remedial. It's actually that I've never had the course, so I would need to take it. Right now, there's one scheduled for August the 20th to October the 10th, and it's 2 days a week for Tai Chi, Wednesday and Fridays from 10 to 11, so just an hour. And this one is, I started to say way over, but we're not way over. This one will be at the Homosassa West Citrus Community Center. Then the last flyer relates to Diabetes Empowerment Education Program, AKA DEEP, as it's referred to. I am certified to teach that. I'm certified for 3 years, 3 more years, I believe it is. The next session is September the 17th through December 3rd, and these classes meet on Wednesdays. And when they come to you, if you're sponsoring a session, it doesn't necessarily have to be on Wednesday, and it doesn't necessarily have to be from 10 a.m. to noon. So I just wanted to bring you a few things today that the health department is doing. If you want, you can certainly make pictures yourself and send it on to someone, and we'd be happy to accommodate them because there's so much going on right now. And one of the things that is going on is measles, also known as rubiola. It is here. And as you know, because of certain instances with our federal government right now, the CDC and some other departments are either scaled back or have had to have information taken down from their website. So I just want to be sure that you are aware. Just because the website may not be there, that does not mean that there is no measles. And yes, we've had cases in Citrus County as well. So you're looking for just a rash, a red rash that you can't explain. And then you can always call the health department and you can say, hey, this is what it looks like. What do you think? You can also call your primary care physician and they can have information to you as well. Last but not least, there is, as you may or may not know, there's a high incidence of opioid use in our county, fentanyl, and other drugs that can lead a person to stop breathing if they overdose. And that is one of the signs of an overdose versus something like a heart attack. They'll still have a pulse and their heart will be beating. But what we like to do is we'd like for every home, every vehicle, every organization to have at their disposal an opioid recovery kit. And it's a very simple manner of taking one of the nasal sprays out of the box. First call 911 so you can have some help on the way. You would take the nasal spray and spray it just like you would any other nasal spray into a nostril. Hopefully the person is lying down, right? If they're not breathing. And you wait for 3 minutes. If they do not revive, you take the second nasal sprayer out of the box and you do the other nostril. Now, we are spread out county, and it may take a while for a first responder to get there. So I always put 2 boxes in each one. Take one for yourself, for your neighbor. If you run out, call the health department. You can get 5 additional boxes, no questions asked. Anybody can walk in and get it. And you can also ask them for my phone number, and wherever you are in the county, I will deliver it. I'm now in the process of making rounds back to places that I went to in the last year. And some have given all of theirs away. And I'm like, why did you call? Why didn't you call? I was up the street. I live off of 200 and there was a mechanic shop. And my husband is a little leery of me going all these places that I go. I go to smoke shops, I go to tattoo parlors, I go wherever. On this one particular occasion, I do stay near my vehicle with my keys in my hand in case I need to scratch my way out. That has never happened. Everyone's been extremely receptive. The gentleman was somewhere in the back of his shop and I'm yelling, hello, I'm not soliciting, I'm giving something away, come on out. And he did, he came out and he said, ma'am, I want to just thank you for even stopping. A few days ago, I had a lady come in screaming, do you have any Narcan? Do you have any Narcan? And he had none, didn't even know what it was. And so now we had our little powwow and we're buddies and we have Narcan available. So there's some on the table. Please take as many as you want. If I run out, I know where to find more. Any quick questions? Yes.
We traveled over the weekend and I noticed when we stopped in Mississippi and Alabama, there were a lot of people wearing masks. So is the measles going on with all the masks on?
It is a respiratory. It is spread through droplets. You know, if I walk from here to the door and you don't even see that I've gone and someone else walks through that same space, those droplets are still hanging in the air. So it's not just the measles right now, right? It's RSV.
Okay.
It is still COVID. I got a call from one of my daughter's in-laws. I add that when I'm speaking in public, but she's just my daughter. 23-year-old grandchild, COVID. And I'm reminding her, if you've got it and you're within 5 days, please get Paxlovid. It stops the virus from replicating in your system. And that's not all it does. It prevents additional wear and tear on every cell of your body, especially your lungs. Thank you.
What do you do? I missed that. What did you recommend to do?
Paxlovid.
Paxlovid.
It's tell your doctor you need a prescription for Paxlovid.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And more than likely, because it tends to lead to a bacterial infection, not just a virus, doctor may give a Z-pack of antibiotics to take along with it. So you can recover faster and feel better sooner. Yes.
I had 2 breakthrough infections of COVID, about a year ago and then about a year before that, even after having the shots. And I got Paxlovid both times. And the faster you can get it into your system, the better you start getting right away.
Absolutely. So get it early. So not to alarm or scare anyone, it's to give you information so you can protect yourselves and your family and me. So I thank you.
And me.
And you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. This League of Women Voters began in 2013. How many of you know that there was a League of Women Voters in Citrus County before this league? Before this league, there was a League of Women Voters in Citrus County. Jan knows, yes. It died because the president died. When you volunteer, you're giving, but you're also getting. I was just talking to Sheila about how happy I am to be where I am because I'm getting so much from what I'm doing. There is a survey that BJ made up for us.
We need your help.
We do not want this league. Don't worry, I'm not going to die. Peg is not going to die. Well, someday, but not soon. Please, if you are a member, fill one of these out because we would love for you to be able to share your talents with us. If you're not a member, why aren't you a member? You should join and fill it out. We're trying to get people involved. July 30th, 4 o'clock, Cattle Dog in Inverness. Leslie, we just go, we chat. That's it. Just getting to know each other. Some of us are going to meet at Los Magueyes at the end of this meeting, the one on 44. You're welcome to join us.
Where are we going?
Los Magueyes
Oh, okay, thank you.
on 44. Now, this is a little bit serious about what I want to talk to you about, because the League of Women Voters was started so that women would get the vote, right? You get a lot of people, some people, a few people, many people these days who say, you're a partisan organization. Why are you taking stands on political things? And personally, I think they just want us to be good little girls and sit very quietly. But that's not what the League is about. That's not what our League is about. That's not what the Florida League is about. That's not what the National League is about. Because what is happening in this country is there are a lot of very bad and unconstitutional things that are going on. And we need to protest. We need to figure out what to do to make the situation better. So if somebody says to you, oh, League of Women Voters is nonpartisan, you can't say anything. Oh, yes, you can. And please do. Peg.
Yep.
Back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
I just have a quick announcement, and Jean can correct me, because HB 1205 was passed by the legislature and signed by the governor. There's a pause on petition collection for the right to clean and healthy waters and Medicaid expansion, and new forms have been issued for July. So any blank petitions you have are no good anymore. The League is right to clean and healthy waters is still on a pause. The League has advised us to not do petition collection like we used to, but rather to simply distribute blanks in a stamped envelope when the petition drives resume. The other thing is that there's a court case. There may be action on 1205 as of July 15th or not, but we'll know better whether we should be full steam ahead on either of these things. Jean, any correction on that?
Not right now, though.
Okay, all right. Any other announcements?
I'll just say I'm Deborah, I'm the treasurer for this chapter.
Yay!
And I just would invite anyone who's attended today and would like to join, please see me. I can facilitate that or help you with a renewal or anything you like. So
It's easy for you.
we have 70 members now, which is wonderful. And we are always looking for more people to come and join us. And we all share a voice in what we do. So
Strength in numbers. Women power and men power.
girl power.
And girl power.
And to support the.
Very good.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being here. I'm glad you braved the weather and all. And so appreciate Heather and Jessica being here today and explaining and sharing and inspiring us. Thank you very much again.